be different. Sometimes you will feel like an outcast, but you'll never be alone. You will make my strength your own. You will see my life through your eyes as your life will be seen through mine. The son becomes the father, and the father becomes the son.
This war is ours. Yes, I will see you through the smoking flames on the front.
Thanks to feminism, men have been made out to be the faux rapists and oppressors of all things feminine. You hear it all the time from news and media casts. Men are the abusers and men are the aggressors. Feminists are always crying rape because they want that boogeyman coming around the corner. Thanks to feminism, men have been strong-armed into an unfair and unilaterally biased situation via the child support racket. Thanks to the farce that is women's empowerment and that coupled with the "You Go Girl" mantra, men are treated as to what can amount to that of the Jews during the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. And I say that wholeheartedly because men are slaves. Slaves to ungrateful wives that constantly abuse and humiliate them. Slaves to jobs they hate because they know that if they lose their jobs, it's an almost certain guarantee that the wife will leave him and he'll be financially strung out. It's no secret. It's been happening now for decades, and society likes to play stupid when they know damn well what's been allowed to transpire for the better part of a half-plus century. Men have been separated from their children via the court system, the same way Nazis rounded up Jewish families and drove fathers away from their children, never knowing if they would ever be able to see them again. In most cases they didn't, and as a result died bitter and broken from the evils committed by Adolf Hitler and his Nazi thugs. Feminism has gone out of its way to designate all men as an abuser and a potential rapist in the hopes that he will never be able to bond with his children, because throughout history men have always been the ones to transmit wisdom and knowledge onto their offspring, and with this instilled the values they learn into the next generation of men and even women. Men have been the guardians and defenders of children since time immemorial. This is no secret or epiphany I had overnight. This is the real deal. How would I know this? Because men have always gone above and beyond the call of duty to ensure that they were taken care of and their families as well, which is why you have seen so many men in the past working a total of anywhere from 60 to 80 hours a week. Coming home looking exhausted, they work their fingers to the bone and bend over backwards so many times that they look like camels with more than one hump. Men have always loved their children and continue to demonstrate that love in various ways, which is why I have introduced the term the presumption of fatherhood, in hopes that we can understand our worth and how our children view us and reclaim even a fraction of what has been taken from us as a result of feminism. Men are the primary caretakers of the young, which is why so many men are willing to sacrifice themselves to save children from imminent danger. It's not a surprise. Men will form armies to defeat the opposing side and pay the ultimate price. They fight tooth and nail to ensure that their children and the children of their comrades are taken care of, and they die knowing that their sacrifices have not been in vain. Or when men suit up and run into burning buildings to save any child that may be trapped inside. Feminists have insisted that men could never truly be caretakers, since all that falls under the shoulders of the mother. Despite the overwhelming data coming out that proves that narrative to the contrary, fathers will do anything and everything to protect and nurture their children, even if that means destroying their own dreams, as a result of having a child out of wedlock. I would argue that men would not only do that, but men would even if need be cut off their own limbs and jump into shark-infested waters if it meant their children lived another day. Men go so far to take the proper steps needed, whether that's life insurance, leaving behind money in the form of an inheritance, or any other allotment of money to pay off any expenses should they die in some freak accident, not just at work but also at home, because in this day and age, anything and everything can happen. Men think logically, which is why when men are in charge, everything flows. Men are not the abusers that feminists have portrayed them as. I would even go farther to assert that women are the worst of the two genders when it comes to abuse. I would argue that women are the ones incapable of childcare. Not all, but most. With all the baby mamas that use their child as a emotional collateral against the father as a way of getting back at him for whatever reason her spiteful mind can concoct. How many women do you see out there beating their kids? And how many women out there do you see beating on their men? How many female pedophiliac teachers do you see preying on young impressionable boys and getting slaps on the wrists? I think that answers itself. Yet society loves to conveniently hide this truth because that directly contradicts the narrative of sugar, spice, and everything nice. Most fathers would never hit their child unless that was in the form of discipline. Most fathers will go above and beyond to protect their children. Fathers are not a second class. A father will sacrifice anything to ensure his child is provided for. Men will even go to feeding the children and taking care of their personal needs if the mother doesn't get off her ass and do the job. I'll share the links below to further back my claim. Feminist indoctrination has all but undermined men and the vital role that fathers played in the development of children. This travesty is the very reason why so many families have been broken and ripped apart over the decades. One gender gets to enjoy rest and relaxation at the expense of another. The war on men and fathers is something that we must win, not through votes, but through education and commitment to getting the truth out there. And don't ever fall for the feminist propaganda machine. If they truly cared about rape, they'd want to fight for men and women that are victims of prison rape on a daily basis. Of course, that'll never happen because feminists own that word and want it to be used whenever it benefits them, which is also probably why they use it in family law. The presumption of fatherhood is something that's serious. It's been proven true time after time. Yes, there are deadbeat fathers out there that abandon their families and that are abusers, but there are plenty of deadbeat mothers out there that do the same. But which gets the wrist slap and which gets the book thrown? I think that speaks for itself. That's all I have. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Donate to my Patreon for more content. If you have a song for my Anthems of MGTOW series or a topic you wish for me to discuss, put them inside the comments section. Links will be below inside the description. Videos like these are made possible from donations from viewers like you, and thank you.